Holly, how are you? I see you over on YouTube already. Just a couple minutes late today. Restream likes to change things around and make it difficult. Uh, every time I get on, there's something new. So, I mean, I'm sure it's probably good updates, but this time I had like so many screens of me being reflected back at me. It was ridiculous. I don't know what that's about, but I'll have to do some exploring because, yeah, it was a little weird. How are you, Holly? I'm tired today. So it's going good. I'm tired since the Scorpio full moon the other night. I don't know. Hi, Susan. Just kind of exhausting energy, I guess. And I've been having some really, very active dreams. So whenever I'm asleep, I'm not really sleeping either. Coming up different on YouTube. How so? Hi, Linda. That's weird. Maybe I'll. Hey, Matt. How's everybody doing? I'm gonna click over to YouTube real quick and see what you mean. I might wanna. Oh yeah, it's already muted. Okay. Oh, it's showing up as how weird. The vertical screen thing. Usually it gives me an option to change that over here, but it's gone now since they've updated and I don't know what that's about. Ah. Oh, it's showing landscape already. Hold on, let's see. And then it shows it. See, this is what I mean. If you can see this. Okay. It's on landscape, but I saw on YouTube it was showing it as portrait. That's so strange. I don't know what they've done. Is it showing the same way on Facebook? Is it showing like portrait, like the vertical way, or is it showing landscape, the horizontal orientation? Because this is so annoying. They just change random shit all the time. Anywho. Yeah, landscape is... It's the same on Facebook. Why the hell would they change that? And I've changed it in Restream on the new... Does that change things or does it just show two of me? Because it's showing me two of me. So it's really annoying. Hi, Katie. Just trying to figure this out. Okay. Well, I don't know. It's the same on both. How weird is that? And it's not changing it no matter what I do on the Restream side of things. So I'll have to mess around with it and see. It's fine. Well, yeah, at least I'm here and you guys can see me, huh? Oh, I hate it whenever they change stuff and they don't make it like, for us folks like neurospicy individuals that really like things to remain the same. It's in portrait on your phone. That is so weird. I don't know what's going on. Sorry, guys. We'll figure it out, and hopefully next week it'll be back to normal. Updates irritate the shit out of me most of the time. Some of them are good, but most of them suck. All right. Forget about it. All right. So, pulled our cards, and we'll get into things. see what's going down in the collective energies today. So I guess we'll just start. We've got plenty of y'all showing up for me today, so thank you for being here. All right, so um, Linda's saying hi, Holly. Hi, Susan. I don't know if y'all are all over on YouTube and Facebook, but just letting you know. All right, apologies and forgiveness is on the bottom of the deck here. This talks about also with yourself. It can be another person, obviously. You know, I'm sure we all have people that we can apologize to and forgive in our lives, whether they've taken accountability for their actions or not. You second the update emotion. Man, it's real. The frustration is real. It's like they have to keep things, constantly moving, and it's annoying. We're going to do a collective energy read today. These are weekly readings. We do this every week, so you're very welcome to join us. Thank you, Levi. So the way that my readings work is it's collective energy. Anyone that feels drawn to joining us for the reading, you may have some kind of synchronicity or something that resonates for you. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind, because again, it is collective energy that I'm reading today, but also we kind of throw in spiritual teachings along with it. So just hang out if you feel so inclined, and we're glad to have you. Thank you, Holly. Yes, they suck, Matt. I second that. Okay. Let me see. I might have to sneeze. Hold on. All right, guys. It's one of those days. It's been one of those days for the last week or so. So, apologies and forgiveness. This even pertains to ourselves. We need to take accountability with ourselves and also forgive ourselves for perhaps making a decision that we feel was a mistake in the past, or leaving ourselves open and vulnerable to those that never really deserved it to begin with. That's a big one for a lot of us, okay? That is also a bad habit. Bad habits also right behind that apologies and forgiveness card on the bottom of the deck. So this talks about releasing old habits as well. We do need to forgive ourselves and others, not for the other person. It's nothing at all like that. You can forgive someone and still not allow them back into your life. This is not a permission slip to come back around and just do the same thing over and over again. That is where we need our boundaries. And if you need help with identifying your boundaries or identifying where you may need to place better boundaries for yourself, I have the boundary reset guide that I just created last month on my website. My website is right here. Right there. So if you are looking for a guide to help you to reset your boundaries, to maybe even see where you've developed boundaries that you could strengthen with yourself and with others, there are journal prompts for every day, and this workbook covers you for a month. So it's not meant to be all done in one day. It is meant to be drawn out to help us to really look at ourselves much more deeply and figure out where we can better our boundaries for us and for the people that we love. So bad habits, apologies and forgiveness. This is letting go of the things that bind us, letting go of, the same old patterns, the same old habits that keep us in the same old cycles. We're here for growth. We're here for change. And that means, holding ourselves accountable, but also holding others in our experience accountable. Eden brought me waffles to keep for a few days. Aw. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad that she has you and that you have waffles now too. So the bad habits, this can be repeating patterns. This can be behavioral, thought patterns, emotional patterns that we continue to play out. So recognizing those patterns and being the breaker of those patterns is going to help you. We've got custody issues showing up. This doesn't necessarily have to pertain to children, but if that's something that you're facing, maybe that's something that resonates for you. But the most, sorry, maybe the wrong word. My nose is starting to run. Sorry, guys. I'm telling you, the energy is chaotic lately. um, so bad habits leading to things not moving forward or moving in your favor in your life. Recently, it could be relationships with others. It could be, things that you're trying to manifest, things that you've been working towards that may not be really, um, you know, turning out in your favor, or they might be just kind of dissolving before they really get traction in your life. So now is a time to assess these patterns. Thought patterns are where it all begins. We know this, because what you think, you become. Whatever it is that you believe about yourself and about your life, that is what causes your life circumstances to reflect the same back to you. So if you have fears or doubts about yourself, about your capabilities, about just existing, your mere existence. Okay, now is the time to weed out that garden, to remove everything that is taking from you instead of building you up. Okay, because we can get caught in these patterns where, maybe we feel guilt from something that we've done in the past, something that is affecting our present, but we haven't really connected the dots. Last week we talked about connecting the dots, right? So this could be things backfiring in your life that are bringing more deep awareness to you, to the fact that you do need to shift some, reframing of things in your mind, or shifting your behavioral patterns, because it's like, this is a cycle, this is a pattern that's been around for a really long time. And if you don't change it right now, okay, if you don't take the initiative, which we do have the Knight of Wands in the reverse showing up over here in the center of the reading, with Queen of Wands reversed also. We'll get to that in a minute, but this is, stagnation. This is staying in the same spot because this is comfort zone. At least I can be miserable in this space that I know, okay? Instead of holding yourself accountable for making better decisions for yourself. Stop making yourself a doormat for others. This can mean so many other things. Whatever is taking away from your ability to live a happier, healthier life for yourself, this is what we're needing to weed out at this time, okay? And that could, again, be thought patterns. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be at war with people in your life, or that you have to be constantly taken advantage of, because I know a lot of you aren't experiencing things like that. But this is very much, we can take advantage of ourselves. We can keep ourselves in the dark just to try to make it a little bit more comfortable to keep waking up every single day. And that's no life to live, right? Whenever you're so comfortable with being uncomfortable, wake up call. It's time to shift some things around. Okay. So protect your energy, protect your ideas. This means, yes, those intrusive thoughts are going to come up, but you don't have to entertain them. You can observe them and tell yourself, you know what? That's not me. That's not the me that I want to be tomorrow, next week, next year, 10 years down the line. That's not how future me perceives me. Future me is proud of me for the hard work and dedication that I'm putting in every single day, even if that is just to get up out of bed. You need to care about you. You need to care more deeply about you than anyone else does. And to some people, that can be pearl clutching, right? Like, no, my significant other is supposed to love me more than anyone else, even myself. No, 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 no. You cannot expect others to care deeply about you if you don't give two shits about you. Okay? It's just not going to happen that way, because you are the one that teaches others how they can treat you by what you're willing to accept. So if you think so lowly of yourself that you accept whatever breadcrumbs are thrown your way, then how is that person tossing the breadcrumbs supposed to really value you? Perspective is a big one, definitely. Sorry, y'all. It's allergy season. The trees are horny. And it's really starting to pick up here where I'm at. So I might be dabbing my nose a few times throughout. Anywho, protect your own energy, establish better boundaries with yourself and with others, because you allow people to treat you certain ways. They're going to continue doing that until you demonstrate that that's no longer okay. That's a boundary and they need to adjust or they need to remove themselves from your experience. We have money is coming also. So tighten those boundaries, create better thought patterns for yourself, because the success, the money, all of it, it's coming. Okay. Celebrate your success right behind that. But you can't be seen as very valuable to the universe at large if you don't value you first. Okay. So time to get real in depth about what it is that you feel is hindering you, what it is that you feel is preventing you from taking ownership of that which you know you are entitled. Okay. And if you don't feel you're entitled to anything special, then that definitely points to where you need to do some work. Okay. Your insecurities are hindering you. You are your only blockage. You are the only one getting in your way. Even though it may seem like everything in your external circumstance is reflecting back at you that you're not good enough, you've never been able to follow through on your manifestations, or you've never really been able to really reap what you've sown, because you could be the most wonderful person. You can be the most giving and loving and kind person. But if you're not establishing those boundaries and expecting that to be reciprocated, and you're just taking those breadcrumbs, then you really don't value yourself. You're just trying to show everyone else that you could be valued, that you put in all of this work, that you're a fixer. You can go in and you can do and be everything for everyone else and allow them to walk all over you. That does not point to your value. That's people pleasing. That's pick me energy. That's please accept me. I'll do anything. I'll be anything that you want me to be. No, that's not authentic. You be you. And if they don't like it, fuck them. Simple as that. If they don't like it, they're not your brand. They're not your audience. They're not your people. They're not your family. If they can't accept you as you truly are without the mask, they don't deserve you. So stop believing that you don't deserve them because you can't mask up to meet their expectations enough. That's your insecurities. That's what keeps you down. That's what shows that you don't value you. So the universe is going to reflect that back at you. You don't value you? Okay, we're going to give you all kinds of situations that match that frequency where you are not valued. Value yourself. You're the fucking star, baby. Page of Pentacles. This is where you take your power back. This is the tangible. This is where things really start to shift. This is where you're receiving true offers, true friendships, true soul tribe, manifesting what it is that you truly want. But we can't manifest that from a space of lack or a space of, I am undeserving of that, which you may think, or you may be able to say, oh, I deserve the best and the most wonderful things and the most wonderful people. But if you're still making yourself a doormat, if you're still repeating these patterns of thought and behavior that keep you stuck in this energy, you can't expect anything to change. So you need to start saying, fuck them. If they don't like me for me, fuck them. If this job isn't giving me what I want, fuck it. If this home, this location, this whatever isn't providing me what it is that I feel like I want and need, then I'm going to go ahead and pivot. I'm going to choose somewhere else. I'm going to choose something better that does resonate with my true frequency. I'm going to stop taking those breadcrumbs. Like Susan said not long ago, believe it to achieve it. Yes. But you have to truly believe it. The fake it till you make it kind of takes you only so far. You have to really believe it. Okay. And that's something that's really hard for people, especially if they grew up, in an environment that neglected them, or maybe their home life was wonderful, but they didn't quite fit in at school and they got made fun of and they, got mistreated, and teachers and other kids, and no one valued them. And no matter how much effort they put in, they still couldn't, mask up just right. And whatever experience that you've had that taught you to begin with that you're not valuable, that you're nothing big, that you're nothing fancy, that you're, dime a dozen, then you need to go back and you need to sit with that version of you that was traumatized, that was taught to believe that kind of thing, and you need to rewire, you need to reprogram. Because things are shifting. Just like I said, big energy, chaotic energy. I've been dreaming about tornadoes like crazy, like every single night for weeks now. So chaos, but change, groundbreaking change, right? In these dreams, I'm not freaking out. I'm not scared. I'm not fearful. I'm not, I'm just trying to be the one that's guiding everyone, like, hey, here you go. We need to do this, this, and this. And, this can make us safe. So let's go on ahead and do it this way, guys. And everyone else is just kind of like, running around freaking out. So maybe you're the anchor in the middle of the chaos. Okay. Or maybe that's what you need to be for yourself. Hi, Anna. We love you. Thanks for joining us, darling. So don't allow these things to hinder you anymore. Don't allow the things that you were taught to believe about yourself to have a stake in who you are now and who you're becoming later. Because that's false. That's false programming. That's fake news, baby. All right. If you can weed all that shit out of your garden, the money is coming. The success is coming. Okay. But you have to be resonating at the same frequency as success, as abundance, in whether that's money or whether that's relationships, a partner, you name it. We all want different things, right? Anyone else killed in another timeline in a dream? Last year, Rebel, I had those tornado dreams. I had 6 all last year, but felt calm and cool during the experience. That's awesome, Matt. That's really awesome. You have been undergoing a lot of transformation too. So thank you for sharing that with us. All right. So then under the bottom of the deck card, we have here, Page of Pentacles. We have act on that idea. So we talk about manifestation, like get Delulu, you have to believe it to receive it, visualize, but you also have to apply actual tangible effort to these things, because we are in this, earth paradigm that takes actual effort to make things happen, right? I can't just, some people can, but not me, not yet. I can't just knock over my cup. I can't just, okay, tip over and it'll tip over. It actually takes me, physical effort and the idea of taking the action to make it happen, right? We need to take tangible action to make things happen. This doesn't mean taking action on every single possible opportunity that lands in your lap, because when you're shifting frequencies, there's going to be multiple different types of opportunities that arise for you, right? Not all of them are aligned to who you are manifesting yourself to be tomorrow or next year, like I said. So you want to select the opportunities that resonate with the version of you that you are becoming, that you want to be. You must embody that energy in every moment, in the present, because the present is a gift, right? And this is the only thing we have, is the present. So don't act on the opportunities that yesterday's you would have acted on, the one that was accepting all of the breadcrumbs and being the doormat, and that's just going to blow up in your face, or it's going to get you back into the same loop that you've been living on repeat. In order to really shift and change things, you need to make decisions based on the version of you that already has those things. Okay. So don't be acting on every single opportunity. You have to get real specific. You have to get real decisive. Hello, Nicole. 2 of Pentacles in the reverse. This means be decisive. Take the action. Don't just, I don't know, I really want to be at this phase of my life. But I haven't really had any opportunities. But you know what? Now that I'm shifting, now I've got all of these different offers. One takes me to a location where I know that I could not possibly thrive. Maybe it's too hot, maybe it's too dry, or maybe it's too wet and too cloudy all the time. I would certainly choose somewhere like wet and cloudy over hot, dry desert because that's where I grew up. But, to each their own. Um, that job opportunity, maybe you have five all of a sudden. One is, a burger flipper, which no judgment. It's a legitimate job and people do it, and there's no discrimination whether you're a burger flipper, whether you're a janitor, an HVAC specialist, a freaking star, celebrity, whatever. Okay, we don't do hierarchies here. But if you are someone who went through training or went to school for this certain career that just lights you up, that you really enjoy. Like I said, I don't care if it's an HVAC specialist or an academic, doesn't matter. Whatever lights you up. You're not going to just, oh, I have an opportunity at my local McDonald's to go ahead and go over there and flip burgers. You're not going to accept that if that's not aligned with your desires, right? So maybe you have this Burger King opportunity. Maybe you have this janitorial opportunity. Maybe you also have been given kind of some other not really great job offers. Are you going to seize any of those? Maybe if you're operating from a space of lack, like I really need a job, and if I don't have something, I'm not going to be able to pay even one bill. So I'm just going to go ahead and take 3 of these jobs and work myself to death. Or am I going to go ahead and send my resume to that, school, that Ivy League school that has an opening for an instructor, and that's right in the field that I'm interested in and passionate about? I'm going to go ahead and send that resume. I'm not going to bother with all of these other jobs that don't resonate with who I am and who I am becoming, right? So don't just act on every single opportunity just because it's an opportunity. If it doesn't align with who you are authentically or who you are becoming, then it's a fuck no, right? Because we are no longer accepting breadcrumbs. We hold out for something that aligns with our value and what we value truly. So be more decisive, set those intentions, align your actions with the things that you want as if you're the person that has them already, right? If future you could say, hey, out of all these 5 opportunities, you should pick none of them. In a week, you're going to get an offer from exactly the job that's exactly aligned to your passions, to your purpose, to your well-being. It's going to be fewer hours, it's going to be less work, it's going to be all of these amazing things, and it's going to be solid financial security for you if only you hold out for another week. Don't accept one of the many opportunities that are going to keep you stuck, right? And that's where your discernment comes in. That's where people get kind of hung up. You're on Facebook now, YouTube was not working. Oh my gosh. Oh, hello, Ben. Sorry, y'all. My nose is drippy today. It's just, tree jizz. So, the universe keeps all the original receipts. Sure, you may have faltered in your manifestation process. You might have gone back to believing that you were nothing and no one and you didn't deserve it and you just deserve to keep making the same types of decisions that have kind of kept you stuck in that cycle, because at least I know what to expect. At least I know I can expect a ceiling, to what it is that I actually want. At least I know that whenever I fail, it's not possible to win in this situation. So the only option is to fail, or the only option is to take less than I know that I deserve. Um, Thanks, Matt. No need for apology. The waters are flowing, okay? You guys get to love me and all of my gross little habits. So thank you. Thank you for loving me. So So act on that idea. The universe keeps all the original receipts. You might have been, again, sucked back into the same old cycle, but this is your opportunity to leave that. This is your opportunity to become consciously aware of exactly what patterns are here at play, exactly what the pattern of your own decisions is. Maybe, you're running out of patience for the thing to manifest. Then go looking for it. Go searching for, researching it online, or searching for opportunities. If you're looking for a house in your price range and you can't really find one, which is like so many people's problem right now in this market, look elsewhere. Look on different websites. Look at a different location. As you're branching out, you're freshening up new energy, right? You're welcoming in that new energy. So you're bound to manifest some kind of opportunity that's going to align with what it is that you want, what it is that you're in the market for. But if you keep, focusing on the same website, and not everything is on Zillow, guys. If you keep focusing on the same source that doesn't have any new opportunities, any new listings, okay, then you're never going to really find anything more than what you've already looked at. Okay. But if you branch out, you open that energy, you become open to, finding it in a different way or receiving it through a different avenue, then that freshens up that energy, and that makes you more open to receiving, so that opportunities can actually materialize and manifest themselves into your life. You're going to have to be able to use that discernment to jump on that opportunity when you see it. There were streets that we walked on today that smelled like roses. Oh, I love it, Susan. Sniffing deeply and immediately blowing my nose and wiping the teary eyes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I get it. Yes, explore the options, expand your horizons. If you're not finding a job offer in the same place that you live, maybe look for remote listings, or maybe look for stuff that's in a town close by. Maybe it'll be a commute, but maybe the pay will be much better. Maybe the hours will also be much better, so it'll kind of equal out. So just don't close yourself off to just one avenue of opportunity, and leave the rest out, because that closing your own window, closing your opportunities down, you're the one that's getting in your way. So it's time for you to step out of the old way of existence and step into that new, lighter version of you. Let the old die and become fertilizer for the new growth. Because I get irritated when people talk about ego death or kill your ego or blah, 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 because, the ego serves a purpose. You just have to know how to work with it. And it's not like that egotistical ego. You guys know this. It's the programming. It's the part of you that's experienced things before, that keeps you safe, keeps you from making mistakes that'll cause the trauma that past mistakes have caused. You just need to, kind of hold your ego's hand and reprogram that. But when it comes to cycles of death and life, we know those are endings of old chapters and beginnings of new. This is new growth. So I'm not talking about death of the old you in the sense that you need to kill it and make it be gone. It's more like allow that version of you that's exhausted, that has served their purpose, that has gotten you this far. Allow that to rest now, to fall away, so that it can fertilize the ground for your new growth. It's just, as the plant itself kind of feeding on the carcass of the old, which is a little morbid, but hey, it works for me. So yes, death is not a negative thing. It is a positive thing. It's endings of the old and the worn out, the weary parts of you. And with all of the effort, all of the life, all of the growth that they experienced is now fertilizing your new growth. So think of it in that way, not in the terms of I gotta eat the old versions of me just so I can become who it is that I really want to be. No, those old versions come along with you. They are what rejuvenate your cells and cause you to reach even higher. Okay. It's nothing about denying and being ashamed of those past versions of you, nothing like that. It's, you know, sorry, my mouth is getting ahead of my brain. It's fertilizing the ground for your new growth, and it is feeding you. And Lyra is going to scream at me. She's like putting her face under the door, so I got to let her in before she screams the whole time. Come on, Brat. Okay. She just wants to go have her midday snack. Same principle of dreaming about checks, not bills. Yeah, I love it. Yes. Yes, dream of checks, not bills. Yes, they are all part of the ultimate creation, Susan. I love how you said that. Absolutely. So, those things that old you wanted, all of those battles that old you fought, maybe you lost, maybe you won, but at least you showed up for you. The universe keeps those receipts, okay? So it's now priming you to be able to grow into that more full version of you who has arms wide open so that you can actually receive it this time and that you can hold on to it and you can grow it. You can create more abundance from it because you learned from all of the lack and all of the dead ends and all of those, mistakes, all the times that you fell to your knees. You got back up. You kept on going. Now it's time to start reaping your rewards for the hard work that you've done along the way. This was protection. All of the mistakes, all of the things that kept you small, even if that was yourself, most often it is. Honey, we're not doing individual readings today, but you're more than welcome to stick around and see what the collective reading has in store for you if you resonate with anything. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. So the old experiences or the old missed opportunities or even the ones that kind of just fizzled out along the way, that was all fertilizer for your growth. Every single mistake is only an opportunity to learn how to ace it the next time, baby. So don't think of the mistakes you've made as being your condemners, okay? Don't think of them as being, your failures. Don't think of your failures as failures. Think of them as your teachers. You learned how not to do it, so you're not going to do it that way again. Some of us do, some of us repeat the same mistakes. Just have patience with yourself, and if you've done that, don't judge yourself for it. Okay, sometimes we need a lesson review or several. Okay, no shame. This is Earth School. You'll get it eventually. Okay, so all of these things have taught you what you don't want. This is the contrasts. Showed you what I definitely don't want, what I probably won't want in most cases. Taught me the parts of me that I tried to run away from or I tried to ignore, tried to suppress, maybe that anger that I was so guilty for most of my life because I was programmed that by the people that raised me. Maybe that's actually part of my power and can harness it in a way that's constructive as opposed to destructive. Then that's a tool that can help me. That's what is going to cause me to ultimately reach my goal. Need a bigger hard drive. I don't know. It's glitching on my side too, so it might just be, we've got it's been windy and kind of cloudy today. We've got storms moving in, so it could be on my side of things, Matt. So sorry if I'm glitchy, but we'll just continue on. Hopefully, if it is glitchy, you can catch what you need to. So all of these things, all of these experiences, even the ones that didn't feel good, even the ones that we deem as negative, okay, those were protection. Even if they prevented you from manifesting what you wanted at that time, it was just forging you to be stronger, more capable of actually holding on to your manifestation once it materializes. Pregnancy, this could be literal pregnancy, and we've got custody issues here. So, like, if you're experiencing something like that, then, you know, strategize, keep track, keep records of everything. This is if you're in a custody dispute, if there's, you know, something like that going on, take accountability, do what's best for the child. Don't do what is best for you or what is going to get at the other person and get under their skin. Okay. Just putting that out there. The last glitch finally matched your mouth with the words awesome. Thank goodness for glitches, right? That was a mistake that actually aligned things and got them back on track, which is what we were just kind of talking about here. So these mistakes or these setbacks may have been actually protecting you from your manifestation kind of coming to fruition, but then fizzling out rather quickly, or, you know, kind of being solid for a little bit and then just kind of crumbling. The version of you that can hold that, that can keep it, maintain it, and grow it is the one who experienced the setback. Now you found the weak spot in the project or the manifestation or the frame of mind that you're in at any given point, right? These things are highlighted for you by way of mistakes or things kind of dissipating, falling apart before they really can get traction and come to fruition, right? So now you've pivoted in those moments. You have adjusted your trajectory in those moments. You have refined the way that you think about it and the way that you take action, the way that you visualize, and then you align your actions with that visualization to really get things moving in your favor. And baby is working. Nine of Pentacles. This is solid. This is having everything you want, need, and desire and being fucking graceful enough to handle it. All right. Like a queen. I don't care if you're a male, you're a queen too. Okay. I took my baby and ran, hid for years with my first child. Life-saving strategy. Same, Susan. I did that with my 3 boys and my daughter, but now she's moved out. She's grown up now, but yeah, same. I feel you on that. Best decisions we ever made, right? Sorry, I adjust myself in my chair and my hair is so long now that it like I sit on it. So I have to move it out of the way. So those obstacles were not really blockages, were they? They were redirects. They were, hey, tweak your strategy a little bit. Hey, tweak your mindset a little bit. Oh, hey, you could use some revamping in your action taking ability. Okay. So now that you have fully aligned yourself to the version of you that's successful at seizing those opportunities, honey, this is where you're going. Okay. 9 of Pentacles. This is wish fulfillment. This is being that bitch. I don't care if you're male or female, what you identify as, you're that bitch. Okay. Today in this reading, you are that bitch. So don't criticize yourself for mistakes that you made in the past or things that you may have overlooked because you trusted too deeply. Whenever your intuition was saying, hey, pay attention, that person doesn't seem to be very trustworthy, and you did it anyway, you became a sucker, you fell for it, and then you got burned. Okay. It happens to all of us, happens to the best of us. Shit, it's happened to me so many times I can't even count. Okay. Autism makes you, want to believe in people, want to see the best in people, whether you identify as autistic or not, doesn't matter. Empaths, star seeds, light bearers, all of the volunteers can identify with that to some degree. So this is why boundaries are so important. This is why discernment is so important. This is why we teach these things so that you can create accountability in your life for yourself and for others, so that you can, create better boundaries for yourself and for others. So, oh, that's not the thought pattern that I want to, that's not the rabbit hole I really want to go down right now, because that will take me out of alignment with what I'm working on here, what I'm working towards here. So don't be taking every single action, don't be just scattering seeds and hoping that some of them will grow. You need to be intentional about the seeds that you're sowing right now, because we're moving towards a more intentional way of existence. So that means that in our lives, with our decisions, even if it's what are we going to have for lunch today? Okay. It might sound like a small thing, but ask your body, what do we need? What would most fulfill us? What are we craving that's healthy, not processed junk, fake food? What is actually going to feed us? What is actually going to, you know, align me to being able to think clearly because I have a meeting or I have a client after lunch. So what kind of food can I put into my body that's going to fuel it, that's going to give me the brain power that I need, or that's going to give me the physical power that I need to complete this task, whatever it is. Be more intentional with every single thing. Honey, we're not doing individual readings today, but thank you for joining us. This is a collective reading. So if you feel like you want to stick around and see if you resonate with anything, you are absolutely more than welcome to. So we will continue going. This relationship was a lesson. So if you're experiencing, a loss of relationships in your life, doesn't matter what kind they are, whether it's romantic, family, friendships, whatever, or just your relationship with yourself. And I don't mean just as in only your relationship with yourself. It means just you with you. Do you always make the most healthy decisions for yourself? Do you always, and this doesn't have to be just about lunch, which we were just talking about a minute ago, but that could be one of the things. Like, do I choose healthier options? Maybe, my health isn't so great right now. Maybe I could tweak a few things. Maybe I can add a few things into my diet that are going to help me to overcome this imbalance or this illness. Whatever it is for you. And always have your highest, best intentions with the food. Yes, Anna, put that Reiki in, put that beautiful source energy into your food, and believe that this is going to satisfy everything that my body needs right now, and what it doesn't need, it's going to just bypass it and get rid of it. Align your decisions for your highest good in every moment, no matter what it is. Some people don't think that, oh, lunch is really that big of a deal, or maybe, this morning habit isn't really that big of a deal. I could take it or leave it, but maybe it's part of the greater picture that's going to be a component of success for your day, if only you would be more intentional about the choices you make for yourself. That could be, I'm just going to go ahead and hit snooze that one more time. I might have to, speed to work and rush around to get there on time, but at least I have this extra 10 minutes, which, honey, I totally understand, but that's not setting yourself up for success either. That's putting you in that rushing energy, and maybe you'll make a mistake. Maybe you'll have a little fender bender on the way to work, or even worse. So always make the best decisions for you. Been craving fruit? That is awesome. I've been craving a lot of just fruits and vegetables lately. So I feel you on that. But spring and summertime really get me wanting to eat only fresh foods. So I love that. Failed that today. Totally into quick sustenance, grab and go. So snack food, was it popcorn and chocolate covered raisins? Technically, that's a vegetable and a fruit, and chocolate is healthy. Okay. Just kidding. I'm kidding, Linda, but kind of not. Just set the intention to make better food choices next time you have to eat or snack. Grab a handful of nuts or something. I have been really craving protein. So I've had pistachios and cheese sticks and beef jerky. So that's what I've been kind of snacking on lately. And I haven't been really having huge meals, except for I'll have like dinner. So that's my one a day. But everything else has been like protein snacks, protein packed snacks. Lunch today was watermelon and blueberries. Yum. I can't wait until we get good watermelons here. I can't believe you already have good watermelons in Scotland right now. Lucky. We haven't seen really many. not ripe good ones anyway. And I'm very particular about picking my watermelons. It has to have that yellow field spot. It has to have the bee stings, you know, the little scarring on the watermelon, and I have to sniff it, and it has to smell sweet because I have a super sniffer, so I can really detect the subtle notes in there. You're on it? Awesome. I learned recently doing something the Matrix doesn't expect, like walking backwards in your living room, i.e., which is strengthening your back and more. Just something simple that can assist in reprogramming our physical reality. Exactly. You know, I've been doing that too, Anna. It's so funny, twinsies, because I've been just doing random shit. Like the other day, my kids were looking at me like, what? Because I was just kind of walking through the house, going towards the kitchen. I think I was going to start dinner or something. And I just like jumped up and clicked my heels together and clapped at the same time. And it was just out of the blue. I was just kind of walking, minding my business. And then I did that. And I said, timeline jump. And then they started laughing. So make it a game. I love it. I have really good breakfasts, but lunch is generally a fail. That's okay. You're setting yourself up for success in the morning then, Linda. I mean, it wasn't a total failure. Fruit and veg. It's fine. And chocolate comes from cacao beans, which grow on trees. So they're also a fruit. Girl, I do the most random shit to my kids. They love it. It's always, you know, it's always fun around here. It's never really that dull. Fruiting it up for the summer. Yes. Okay. So let's move forward. That relationship was a lesson. And that card, it comes right under that Knight of Wands in the reverse. So whatever didn't get off the ground, whatever caught you back in, you know, that cycle to where you would repeat it, but recognize it and then make changes. That's for your highest good. That's manifesting better for yourself. That's you aligning you to the version of you that you want to exist as. Okay. Not that you want to be, but one of the many options that you have to choose from, because there are unlimited timelines. And just talking about that timeline jump, thank you, Anna, is, you know, it goes right along with the message today as well. You know, you can choose whichever timeline you want to be on, and every version of you is you, even if they're vastly different timelines. So embodying the version of you that's on the timeline that you want to live in your present, and making decisions from that version of you, and, you know, taking actions that align you to that version of you, that really hones in your trajectory and gives you more power to be able to actually jump those timelines. And like Anna was talking about, you know, walk backwards through your living room, or, you know, decide, oh, usually this is my daily routine. I'm just going to go, you know, maybe to this corner market that's on the opposite side of the road that I would normally go on. Even just a small tweak like that can really shift you onto a new timeline. So make different decisions, break the pattern, align more and more with the version of you that already exists on the timeline that you want to live right now. So yes, things may have been backfiring recently, but it wasn't because you're being punished. It wasn't because you don't deserve what it is that you want. It's just you're collapsing timelines. So maybe that timeline was, you know, directed at the trajectory that you want to be living, but maybe it wasn't really solid. Maybe there was another aspect, another component to it that would have crumbled regardless of what you did. So you're collapsing that timeline. You're still on that vein. You're still aligned with the version of you that exists on the timeline that you were successful in doing that. So you've collapsed this one where you didn't. Now your options are, you know, coming more into your focus, more into your sights. I don't know if any of you guys have shot a gun that has sights on it, but that's the visual that I'm getting. So all of these things happened so that you could learn from them, so that you could refine your approach, or you could, zero in on your target, that's where the magic happens. Free yourself. Don't live in guilt or shame or regret because oh, I really thought that I was aligned to what it is that I wanted, but then it just fell apart, or it just didn't happen, or now that person won't speak to me, or XYZ. That had to happen so that you could collapse that version that it wasn't fully successful. And now you need to free yourself from living in that collapsed timeline that's no longer viable and continue moving towards the one that is. Because there are countless options. There are countless other similar timelines, other versions of you that are actually fully successful, that actually manifested it, that were able to keep it and grow it and expand on that. So you've actually freed yourself from more failures. So don't live in those old timelines where it would have failed anyway. Live in the now. Align yourself to the timelines where it succeeds. Page of Wands, right above that, free your soul card. And Sagittarius really comes to mind. If you're dealing with Sag, or if you have Sag somewhere in your chart, maybe you need to look at that, see where your Sag is lighting up for your chart right now. That may give you some insight into what to do to gain more momentum towards your goals. But that Sagittarius energy, it can be so fun, so loving, so nurturing, and so carefree, wistful even. Okay, get into that mindset. Yeah, this might have failed, maybe this didn't work out, maybe I thought maybe it set me back a little bit, but I still visualize what it is that I want. I can see it, I can smell it, I can taste it, I can hear it, I can really experience it with everything except for my current reality, but I want it so bad, or this is what I know is meant for me so much that I'm not giving up. So approach it with that open hearted energy, that light-hearted energy. I think I have Sagittarius in my chart. I'll have to check later. Yes, ma'am. Only gun I've ever shot is in gaming. Well, I was raised by a sportsman in the way that he liked hunting and fishing, my papa. So I've shot a lot of guns. Sagittarius rising. I love that, Linda. So go for it, baby. Use that Sag energy. And if you don't have it in your chart, you have it in your chart. Our houses contain all of the signs. We have all of the signs somewhere in our chart, even if we don't have anything in those signs. Okay. So find wherever or what house even that Sagittarian energy is in and see what you can work with to work more towards your goals instead of, Queen of Wands in the reverse, instead of becoming embittered and snarky and, just so traumatized by the things that didn't work out that you started focusing more on those things that didn't work out than you did on the things that could work out or the potentials that were left over after the fact, that you continue to exist on that same loop. Okay. Success is guaranteed only if you're brave enough to keep going towards your goals. And they will shift and change along the way. Maybe they'll change completely into something that you never anticipated, but maybe the changes are more subtle, but it's, bigger picture. It's mostly what you had envisioned. Maybe, you didn't visualize living this life and having this person that means so much to you, in your future. Maybe you never anticipated that, but it's a welcome addition, right? Or maybe it's work or a similar uh, a similar outcome, but things are, kind of different. Whatever it is, the change is for the best. It's for your highest good. It's for what it is you truly deserve. So don't fret so much over maybe the things or the people that you've lost along the way. Don't invest so much in the failures that that becomes your reality, is failure after failure. See the failures for what they are, opportunities to learn or to pivot and actually create the life that you want to live, that you deserve to live. Guns are not legal in Iceland. I know they're not legal in a lot of places. They tried a few years back for the police, but people were against it and they got instead those stun guns. That's good. I don't believe that the police should have guns. And I know that a lot of people do, and a lot of people are glad that, but there are so many unnecessary deaths at the hands of police. It's ridiculous in the US. Okay. I just saw another one, I think yesterday, and it was in Colorado. And I was like, that was so unnecessary, could have been avoidable regardless of, the person. I think they were having a mental break. But that doesn't mean that they should, you know. So that's awesome that your police don't have guns, because you know people abuse those kinds of things, and if you're definitely not necessary. My use of guns, I have one. It's for home protection, just in cases, right? Um, because I believe in your right to defend your home, and my ex and all of that stuff. I have good reason to own one. But before all of that, I was brought up hunting and fishing and just shooting guns for target practice for the fun of it, that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm experienced in the handling of those. Yeah, that happens, Anna. And they take it to their head, and then, the bro system within the police forces, they cover each other's asses and stuff like that. So yeah, no, I don't. I think it's an abuse of power, most definitely. So success is guaranteed. The setbacks were only opportunities to refine your approach, to take actions that align better to the things that you want, rather than the things that you don't want, or the outcomes that you don't really want. So if things have not really progressed for you, you're just in a learning phase. Okay, you're learning what doesn't work so that you can really hone in on what does. So if you still have that vision, if you still have that dream for yourself, keep fucking working at it. Keep refining your approach, okay? Never give up on what you feel is destined for you, because you create your own destiny, all right? You create your own reality. You choose what it is that you experience and what you don't. Yes, you have a mission. Yes, you have a purpose, or whatever, whatever. But you're the one that gets to tweak all the details. You're the one that gets to choose what kind of pants you're wearing that day when that thing happens, or you know the energy that you exude whenever you are living your purpose. So don't lose sight of what it is that you truly want, because if you can visualize it, baby, it's already created for you. You just have to select the timeline and assume the frequency of the version of you that exists on that timeline. Nothing happened at the queue, just stressful and very crowded. His job was to make it go smooth. It was the opposite of that. Yeah, and that ego and that, ooh, I'm big bad, man of the law type thing really kind of gets in the way of keeping everything balanced and peaceful, right? Um, You and your loved ones are safe with the new moon in Cancer. This is brand new energy. This is creating for you, for yourself, and those you care about. Hey, Steph. Love you. Everybody, let's send Steph some healing and loving energies for his kitty. His kitty's feeling under the weather. So we did some energy healing, but if y'all could just send some extra loving energy her way, we would appreciate it. But you and your loved ones are safe. Perfect for you to just jump in on, Steph. It's a Cancer. Cancer moon. So Cancer energy, new chapters, new phases. This is everything really starting to balance out and, get better for you, for those you care about. The old has, died off. Its decay is the food, the nourishment for your new growth. So, I mean, people can look at decay as something ugly and gross, which it kind of is, especially in the earlier stages. But once it begins feeding life, once it begins to be metabolized and broken down and, absorbed for the nutrition, for the positive things that it brings, it creates such beauty. Moon in Cancer, and I popped out. Yeah, exactly. So let the old stuff, the old energy, the old, experiences, allow them to rest in peace. Okay. You don't need to keep trying to cram them into your present because they are in your past and they're in your past for a reason. So allow them to, decay, to fall away and become the nourishment for your future success and growth. Yay. Thank you, Anna. And reach for the fucking sky. I heard Woody from Toy Story in my mind when I saw this card. Reach for the sky. So be that tree. Be so grounded and so rooted in your existence that you can reach for the sky. Spread those roots out as wide as you possibly can. Establish that beautiful solid root system so that you can grow even taller and even more beautiful. You can sustain more life. You can sustain more fruit. You can, bear more fruit, bear more, beautiful foliage. Really decorate your damn self, okay? But reach for the fucking sky. Conclusions are within reach with the full moon eclipse. So we just had a full moon in Scorpio, bringing up emotional shit, maybe causing you to dive deep into these depths that you're not always comfortable with. But Scorpio is the king of the underworld. So use that to your advantage. Really move through all of the uncomfortable things that are coming up for you, thoughts, feelings, maybe certain types of people that you are wanting to let go of in your life. Maybe they're cropping back up to be a reminder like, hey, I always make choices that hurt you, and I always, say and do things that are for my highest good and not yours. I use you like a doormat. Once those are highlighted with that energy, this full moon is meant to bring those cycles to a close. Okay. And then with that eclipse card, eclipse them the fuck out of your life. They don't belong there. They've been there for too long, taken up way too much space. Kick them out and make space for the new that you want to bring in. Don't just hold on to old relationships or old things, old situations, old jobs, old whatever, just because they've been in your life for so long. You don't owe them anything. Okay. Live like water, constantly in motion. Okay. Because whenever you stagnate, that's whenever you start growing all the yucky stuff and it turns into swampy, stinky, mosquito infested mess. Yep. Scorpio moon 2 days ago. Yes. Decay and nourish your future. I love it too. Wonderful message. All of this other stuff, it's ephemeral, it's temporary, it's not going to be around for a long time. And maybe you need to recognize that and enjoy these things while they're around. Or maybe you need to recognize that and be, joyful in the fact that, hey, this might be a trying time. This might be a difficult time for me, or this might be a difficult phase or project or person or whatever, but it's only temporary. So all I have to do is kind of tie things up here, complete this mission, allow this energy to serve whatever purpose it has for me, whatever lesson it has to teach me, and then move on. Okay. Stop trying to dig your heels in because you're traumatized, because, oh, I can't believe the audacity, or because, you know what? People that hang on to like legal papers from their divorce from 50 years ago just because they want to say, oh, look what this bastard did to me. Look what they said and it wasn't true. Who fucking cares? Let it go. It was 50 fucking years ago. They don't care. They moved on. You're the only one living in that resentment and that ugly, stuck ass, nasty, stanky energy. Okay. Let it go. Because you are good enough. Full moon in Virgo. Virgo knows how to get it done. Virgo knows their worth. Virgo knows what they are willing to accept and what they're not. And what they're not willing to accept, they have no problem telling you the fuck off. Trust me, my nephew's a Virgo and I love him. Transmute that shit and heal. Yes, because you are good enough. You're better than everything that you've received up until this point. Everything in your life has proven to you that you're better than that. Even though maybe sometimes you only focus on the fact that it's showing you that other people think that you're not better than that, and that's why they continue to treat you that way. You are sick of it because you know you're better than that, and you deserve better than that, and you're not willing to settle for any less than you actually fucking deserve, because now is your turn to live your life on your terms. You get to choose. So choose what's best for you. My cat opened the curtain, so it's like way brighter in here. Thanks, Lyra. Best advice I can give at this point is to prepare for the system crash, stock some lasting food, and get those candles ready. Oh, honey, without fear. Yes, always make sure that you have plenty of food on hand, but be careful not to go into, oh my God, it's all going to collapse and everyone's going to be on their own and it's going to be, you know, apocalyptic, like the toilet paper issues of 2020. It's yes, live intentionally. Yes, be aware. Yes, be prepared. But don't go rushing to get yourself into a fully stocked bomb shelter packed with MREs or anything like that, okay? Because yes, it's going to be bumpy, it's going to be turbulent, but we're not manifesting the, you know, the fall of humanity. Yeah, I was just kind of expanding on your comment there. The man I divorced 50 years ago really was an asshole. Thanks, Steph. Love you for that. So be aware, be prepared, know that you're good enough, and start making decisions based on, I'm better than that. That was not nourishing me. That was not building me up. That was actually taking from me. That was tearing me down, either mentally, emotionally, physically, whatever. So start with your boundaries. Again, if you need help with boundaries, my boundary reset guide is available on my website right there. A time to give rather than take with the new moon in Virgo. We got another Virgo here. We got new moon and full moon energy, and they're both, you know, green energy. So this is heart space energy. This is giving from the heart. This isn't, oh, in order to manifest, I have to, you know, give so that I can feel like I am abundant enough to be able to give. Not if you are taxing yourself, not if you're wearing yourself thin, not if you are giving away things that you actually need to sustain your life in your present moment. Okay. Get to Lulu, but don't go off the deep end here. So yes, give of yourself from the heart, from that place of abundance, from that place of, oh, I have an abundance of time that I can give to someone in need, or I have an abundance of clothes that I hardly ever wear any of them, or I haven't worn any of them in a long time, so I can give these to someone in need. It doesn't have to be money, but it very well can. If you have an abundance of money and you feel charitable and you want to give to something that aligns with you, with your values, then absolutely do that too. But be discerning. Don't just give from that space of lack, because you're only going to dig yourself deeper into lack. If you're giving things that you don't have an abundance of, even if you want to be delusional and, oh, I'm that abundant person that has, you know, all of this time and effort and energy to give, but I'm barely able to drag my ass out of bed in the morning, that's not going to be sustainable. Okay. That's going to make you crash. If you're trying to give away all of your rent money just to try to prove to the universe that you have an abundance, so you're going to get, you know, 10 times that in return, but you're giving it from the space of knowing I don't have any other means to make rent this month except this money that I'm giving away to prove that I'm abundant, then you're setting yourself up for failure there, okay? Discernment, you're living in the real world, you're straddling the line of the real world and spiritual, but you know, keep it balanced. Don't just set yourself up for failure there, okay? Otherwise that'll be another lesson and you'll learn it, but it's not going to be fun, not going to be pleasant, okay? Fruit of knowledge. There you go. Perfect card for this. So be knowledgeable, okay? Be intentional, be delulu, but not overboard, okay? Be grounded, but also reach for the stars, okay? Reach for that sky. Opportunity is coming, but sometimes you have to be, you know, discerning. You have to strategize. You have to take it in baby steps, okay? Sometimes it's called for you to go all in on something. And yes, I get that. And you'll feel it and you'll know it and you'll do it and it'll be effortless. But don't just jump all in and give up all your bill money and fuck yourself for the month and maybe, you know, get yourself kicked out of your home or anything like that when you're trying to manifest abundance, when you're trying to, you know, live that rich lifestyle or be that charitable person, okay? Don't give of yourself to lift someone else up if it's going to make you fall. I save 10% of what I earn each week towards charity donations. Oh, that's beautiful, Katie. All in balance. Absolutely. Don't live beyond your means. We do and owe some money. Yeah, live within your means for now. Feel abundant. Do small things if you can't really, you know, if you don't have a lot of wiggle room with your finances or you don't have much to be able to give away, or maybe you're constantly exhausted all the time and you really don't have that much time, effort, and energy to give to others. You need to pour that into yourself. Okay, budget your energy. Budget your energy because energy is currency. So whatever that looks like for you, make sure you're being mindful in your approach. Make sure you're being balanced in your approach, okay? Because everything is about balance. It's not about constantly going both feet in without even looking, okay? Because that's just going to screw you over. You got to play by the rules of the matrix game that we're kind of in right now. Even though we're crashing the system, it's still in effect until further notice. So, you know, straddle it. 1 foot in the old world, 1 foot in the new. Use your discernment, use your boundaries, even with yourself, okay? You got to have boundaries with yourself if you're not going to overgive of your time, your money, your belongings, whatever it is. So, opportunity is coming, but use that knowledge, use that wisdom, okay? You are that goat, you are that bitch, you are climbing that mountain, but that goat's not just going to catapult itself off the side of a cliff because now it believes it can fly. Okay? Not going to happen. It worked its ass off too hard to get up there. So, it's going to climb its little goat ass up that mountain on its toenails, and it's only going to step whenever it knows that it's not going to just come crashing down off the mountain. All right. It's going to make wise choices where it places its footing. And it's not just going to act on every single opportunity just because that one looks like it's a good ledge to stand on. Maybe it's a little shaky. Maybe it's a little loose. I'm not going to step on that and then go crashing off the cliff and die, am I? No. So make sure that you're being responsible. Make sure you're being balanced in your approach. Be delulu, but not overboard. Okay. Because the opportunities are coming, the abundance is coming, the money is coming. Celebrate that success because it is yours. But also protect that energy. Protect those ideas. Don't go sharing every single thought that comes through your brain with just anybody, okay? Use your discernment on who you share things with if they have not fully manifested into your experience just yet, because other people's evil eye or doubts, jealousy, or, you know, whatever, their own fears, they project. Everyone projects. So be mindful of who you're sharing that energy with. Be mindful of every step you take, not out of fear, out of wisdom, okay? Because you know, not everyone has your best intentions at heart. So learn from past mistakes and move accordingly. because good things are coming. You've been exercised, you've been forged, you've been seasoned to be able to hold and expand whatever it is that your big, beautiful, giant heart desires. So know that you deserve exactly what it is that you visualize for yourself, exactly everything that you desire. If it's in line with the highest good of others, harm to none, right? I'm sorry, honey, we're not doing individual readings today. We actually just wrapped up our collective reading. You can watch the replay if you would like. You may resonate with some things like that, maybe get some answers on your question. But we are not doing individual readings today. But thank you for stopping by. And thank you, everyone else, for joining me. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you all very, very much. And hope you have a beautiful rest of your week. So I will see you guys same time, same place next week. Strategy from wisdom along this journey will take you far. Yes, Matt, I love it. All right, guys, take care, and I will see you soon.